Jamie Vardy, a Premier League icon. A story of rags to riches, goals, glory, and grit. And now, at 38 years of age, he's finally closing the book on his unforgettable Leicester City journey. 13 seasons, over 200 goals, a Premier League title that shook the world. But now, with Leicester dropping down to the Championship and Vardy waving goodbye to the King Power faithful, the big question on everyone's lips is simple. What comes next for one of English football's most legendary strikers? And here's where things start to get interesting. Whispers have turned into conversations. Conversations are starting to sound more like negotiations. Jamie Vardy could be on his way to Scotland, and more specifically the Rangers. Yes, Rangers Football Club. The Giants of Glasgow, the Light Blues, a team built on history and passion, now possibly preparing to welcome one of English football's most iconic modern players. At first, it all seemed like typical end-of-season speculation, the kind of chatter you get when a big name becomes a free agent. Rangers and Celtic were both casually thrown into the rumor mill, as they always are with any notable player looking for a new challenge. But while most of those whispers faded into the background, one name stuck. Rangers! And the more time passes, the more that name keeps coming back. Because now the talk isn't just fan fantasy or media guesses. There's a growing sense that something real is going on. Let's be honest here, Jamie Vardy joining Rangers, that would be box office. The kind of move that sends shockwaves across Scottish football. A former Premier League champion trading English stadiums for packed-out nights at Ibrox. It would bring not only quality and experience, but a serious injection of star power to a Rangers side in transition. And speaking of transitions, there's plenty going on at Ibrox behind the scenes right now. This summer has already seen some massive changes at the club. Barry Ferguson, Neil McCann, Billy Dodds, and Alan McGregor have all officially stepped away from their roles in the coaching team. That's a lot of leadership, a lot of history, and a lot of Rangers DNA moving on all at once. And yet amidst all this upheaval, one man remains. Ismaïla Sarré, the Moroccan assistant coach brought in during Philippe Clement's tenure, has stayed put still under contract and still around the training ground, waiting to see how the new managerial structure will shape up. The search for a new head coach is well underway, with the board promising progress and a clear plan moving forward. But while the dugout gets reshaped, the pitch might soon see some new blood as well. And that's where Vardy comes back into our picture. Because when you look at Rangers' current squad and the challenges they faced this season, particularly in attack, the idea of bringing in someone like Vardy suddenly makes a lot of sense. Not just for the goals, but for the mentality, the edge, the pure winning experience he carries with him. And it's not just fans dreaming. Club legend Ali McCoist, a man who knows a thing or two about scoring goals at Ibrox, has publicly stated he would take Vardy in 2 minutes. That's a ringing endorsement if there ever was one. McCoist did add, though, that he suspects Vardy might already have a destination lined up. Maybe the United States, maybe another English side. But still, he didn't close the door. And neither should Rangers. Because when a player like Vardy becomes available, even at his age, you explore every possibility. His final game at the King Power summed up everything you need to know about the man. 500 appearances for Leicester, a goal in his last home match, the roar of the crowd, a standing ovation for a club legend. But while Leicester heads to the Championship, Vardy has made it clear he's not done. He still wants to play. He still believes he can contribute at a high level. And if Rangers can convince him that Ibrox is the place to do that, then this could be one of the most exciting signings in recent Scottish football history. Of course, with so many moving parts, nothing is guaranteed. Rangers are still without a permanent manager, and that decision will undoubtedly influence the direction of summer recruitment. Whoever takes the job full-time will need to assess the kit, squad the budget, and the tactical plans going forward. But if the board is serious about bringing silverware back to Ibrox and competing not just domestically, but in Europe, then moves like this are exactly what's needed. And while the Vardy story grabs the headlines, the club has also been making quiet but important moves on other fronts. Young midfielder Lyle Cameron is set to join Rangers officially this summer after signing a pre-contract agreement earlier in the year. He played his final match for Dundee with passion and purpose, scoring twice to ensure their Premiership safety. Even with his future already confirmed, Cameron gave everything until the final whistle, including playing through injuries just to honor his promise to the club and the fans. That kind of character says a lot, and it's exactly the type of mindset that Rangers will need moving into the next season. Cameron's already looking ahead to pre-season training, where he'll link up with his new teammates and begin his Ibrox chapter. It's a big step up, as he himself admitted, going from one of Scotland's smaller clubs to arguably its biggest. But it's a challenge he's embracing, and that kind of ambition could see him become a real fan favorite if he hits the ground running. Meanwhile, over in midfield, there's also been speculation surrounding the future of Nico Raskin. The Belgian international has been one of the rare bright spots in what's been a largely disappointing campaign for the club. And as he enters the final 2 years of his contract, rumors are starting to swirl about potential interest from elsewhere. But if you ask Raskin himself, he's staying grounded, he's happy, he's enjoying his football, and most importantly, he still sees himself at Rangers as long as the club wants him. Raskin has been honest about his development. He knows he can improve. He's talked openly about working on his physicality, about the need to push himself to play both ends of the pitch with equal intensity. But what stands out most is his sense of belonging. He feels connected, he feels trusted, and for a player of his talent, that confidence can be the difference between average and outstanding. After a slow start due to injury and a disrupted preseason, Raskin has grown into a vital part of this team, and he knows it. All of this, Vardy's potential arrival, Cameron's exciting future, Raskin's maturity, points to a Rangers squad that's on the verge of transformation. Yes, this past season has been tough. No trophies, managerial instability, missed opportunities. But what lies ahead could be something special. If the club makes the right appointments, backs them in the transfer window, and builds around players who genuinely want to wear the badge with pride, then there's no reason why next year can't be different. For now, the spotlight remains firmly on Jamie Vardy. Will he choose Ibrox as his next home? Will we see one of England's greatest modern strikers banging in goals in front of the Copland Road? End time will tell. But the mere fact that this conversation is happening shows where Rangers are headed. They're thinking big. They're moving forward. And maybe, just maybe, they're getting ready to make a statement that will echo far beyond the Scottish Premiership. As we wait for clarity on Jamie Vardy's next move, the atmosphere around Rangers feels like it's building towards something important. The club stands at a real crossroads, and not just in terms of recruitment or managerial decisions, but in the identity it wants to reestablish on and off the pitch. The end of this past season felt like a closing chapter, a cycle completed. Now it's about starting fresh with purpose, direction, and ambition that matches the expectations of a support that lives and breathes football every single day. The final game, under Barry Ferguson's interim stewardship, brought a wave of emotion. A club legend stepping up when the call came, leading the team through turbulent waters and even delivering a European run and a win at Parkhead that will be remembered for years. The reception Ferguson and his staff received at Ibrox was proof of what they mean to this club. Not just for what they did as players, but for their commitment in the dugout during a tough stretch. And even as they part ways with their coaching, duties they leave with dignity, pride, and the applause of a grateful fan base. It's always emotional when figures like Ferguson, McCann, Dodds, and McGregor move on. They're woven into the club's history, but the departure is also symbolic. It signals that change is not only coming, it's already begun. Now all eyes are on the board and the football department to capitalize on this transitional moment. The new manager will inherit a squad with quality, but also questions. Who stays? Who goes? What kind of football will we see next season? Will it be pragmatic possession, based high intensity, or something entirely different? These are the kinds of decisions that will shape not just results, but the culture inside the dressing room. And when you start thinking about bringing in experienced names like Jamie Vardy, it reinforces the idea that Rangers might be aiming for a blend of proven leadership and emerging talent. The right mix could set the tone for a more resilient, more ruthless Rangers, one that doesn't just challenge for domestic honors, but makes its presence felt in Europe as well. But none of that will matter without getting the basics right. Recruitment needs to be smarter. Preseason needs to be sharper. And the squad needs to be fitter, more united, and better drilled than it has been in recent years. Too many times Rangers have fallen short not because of lack of ability, but due to lapses in concentration injuries or inconsistent performances. Those are the details that separate winners from contenders. That's where the new regime will be judged from day one. Meanwhile, for players like Nico Raskin, this next phase could be defining. He's already shown that he can be the heartbeat of the midfield, but now he has the chance to become one of the true leaders of this group. He's vocal, intelligent, and composed under pressure. And if he continues developing the physical side of his game, there's no reason he can't dominate matches the way the best midfielders in Europe do. His progression mirrors what Rangers need as a club: hunger, consistency, and that extra push to go from promising to elite. Lyle Cameron's arrival also adds an exciting new layer. There's something pure about a young Scottish talent stepping up from a smaller club, hungry to prove himself on the big stage. He knows the challenges that await him at Rangers, the pressure, the expectation, the competition for places. And yet he's running towards it. That mindset is golden. And if the coaching staff can nurture his technical skills while helping him adapt to the physical demands of top-level football, he could become a gem. But for now, everything hinges on the decisions being made behind the scenes. The next manager, the next signings, the overall vision. And while it's tempting to get carried away with the romantic idea of Vardy in a Rangers shirt, the club also needs to make sure every move makes sense within a larger strategy. Signing a superstar only works if the system is built to support him, and integrating youth only pays off if the environment allows them to flourish. Still, there's no denying the buzz. The fans feel it. The media feels it. There's a quiet confidence building, the kind that says maybe, just maybe, this could be the beginning of something new. Something better, something worthy of the badge. Ibrox has seen it all. Glory and heartbreak, dominance and droughts, but it has never stopped believing. And with the right people in place on the pitch and in the office, that belief could turn into silverware once again. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Rangers fans have a new reason to be excited, as Abdallah Sima has officially said yes to the club, marking a fresh chapter in the Ibrox side's ambitions for the coming season. The Senegalese forward, known for his blistering pace and eye for goal, has committed his future to the Light Blues, bringing a new dynamic to the attacking lineup. Sima's arrival is more than just a signing. It is a statement. Rangers have shown intent to bolster their squad with quality and depth, and the addition of Sima, with his experience from top-flight European football, adds a serious edge. The 22-year-old previously turned heads with his performances in the Czech Republic with Slavia Prague before making the leap to English football. Now he takes on the Scottish Premiership with high expectations on his shoulders. The forward's decision to join Rangers comes after reported interest from several other clubs across Europe. Yet, it was the allure of Ibrox, the rich history of the club, and the chance to play under the intense spotlight of Scottish football that swayed the player's choice. His signing has already generated a wave of enthusiasm among supporters, eager to see what the Senegalese talent can bring to the pitch. In recent seasons, Rangers have been proactive in the transfer market, and this move follows that trend, with key fixtures on the horizon, including European qualifiers and the always tense Old Firm derbies. Sima's inclusion could be vital in lifting the squad's attacking threat. Manager and fans alike will be hoping that Sima can quickly adapt to the physicality and pace of Scottish football. If he finds his rhythm early, he could become a fan favorite at Ibrox in no time. With pre-season just around the corner, all eyes will be on the new man in blue to see if he can live up to the promise that has followed him since his breakout. Season for Rangers, this signing is more than just about goals. It's about vision, ambition, and continuing to build a team capable of challenging on all fronts. Welcome to Glasgow. Abdallah Sima greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comment section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.